This second half to come as the Leigh Centurions take on Sheffield Eagles. The winners survive another week in the playoffs in the Championship. It's the end of the season for the losers. And it's really difficult to say just who will be packing their bags and heading for a late summer holiday and who will be staying on for some more training and hoping that they can get to the grand final at the Halliwell Jones next month. But here comes Mick Nannin to get the second half underway. And it's Nannin's boot, and it's out on the full. And good judgment that was.
Mick Nannin gave that ball an almighty whack. And 6'10" inches. It's only just too long. But was it a risk too big to take?
Well, he's got a big boot, has Mick Nannin, and just a bit too big there. So that penalty immediately gives the Eagles an opportunity. And here comes rampaging PNG international Trevor Exton, who's played a big part since coming on very early on following Missy Talapapa's injury. And Lindsay juggles with that pass. Tanguy Rapati now. Rapati, though, is stopped by Matty Blythe. Michael Haley, one of the Irish internationals out there, and Haley heading straight for the posts. Three of them to stop him. It was Taylor with the tackle. Henderson pops it up for Howison. Howison right in front of those posts. 4 tackles gone. Here is Lindsay now. Lindsay fires it out to Menzieri, but too strong. Dipping down at the feet of Yeri, and that comes to nothing.
It's unfortunate for Sheffield that. A set-up play, and the ball aimed for Menzieri, one-on-one. You'd need a juggernaut to stop that fella. But the pass was dipping low.
If it had stuck, it would have been surely another try for Menzieri.
Well, all Menzieri wants near the line is just an early ball. Probably Brendan Lindsay needed to be just a touch deeper to give him that pass, to give him that freedom, and they lose the ball late.
Oh, mistake.
Well, that's the second mistake in the opening 2 minutes of this second half.
James Taylor it was who came up with that. Exton having to scoop that pass up from down by his toes. Turns, runs away from trouble, and then back into it. I wonder if Exton will be part of the PNG squad, lining up for the Four Nations coming up in a couple of months' time. Here is Lindsay now looking to make amends. Steps back in field. Brown, again they're looking to get Menzieri away, but Rapati goes himself and gets it to Yeri, and Yeri, will he get over? He will, he'll get it down. And Menzieri does get the try, and good work again from Tanguy Rapati. When it looked as though the chance had gone, or at least the tackle was coming, they managed to offload the ball, and again the Eagles come back, and Menzieri gets try number 16 for the season, his second of the night.
Well, a couple of mistakes from Leigh in the opening 2 minutes of this game. James Taylor just losing the ball under pressure from Trevor Exton. The direction Simon Brown's come across the other part, but there's the same combination. Tanguy Rapati just determined to break that tackle. Menzieri in support. But again, just the balance. He runs straight, he runs hard. He took McConnell. Matty Blythe backs out of that tackle, and the big man goes over for the opening try in the second half.
No wonder the Eagles are delighted to keep Menzieri on their books for another 3 years. Really has taken to life in the Steel City. Very popular figure within the club as well.
Well, look at the size of him. He can play full-back winger, prop forward, back row, scrum half.
Now then, Simon Brown will look to convert Menzieri's try. Can he get one on target? Again, he's wide of the mark. And Brown misses again. 18-16 the scoreline. 4 tries scored by the Sheffield Eagles. They haven't managed to goal one of them yet. Menzieri's got 2 of them.
Well, Sheffield Eagles started this game with 3 strike players: Talipapa, Yere and Rapati. And I imagine Mark Aston at half-time has said, we need to get the ball to our strike players. And Rapati passed the ball to Yere, getting that first try.
Well, they've got the restart right this time. Oh, boy, they've got it right, because they forced the goal line dropout. And a tangle at the back for the Eagles. And this time, it's Leigh who'll benefit from it. Well, Rapati, hero a moment ago, and Haley not communicating.
And Mickey Haley anticipating that his catcher, the full-back Rapati, would have had that and scooped it onto him, but that mistake gives Leigh some possession.
Bybee in possession for the Leigh Centurions. Let's go down to the sidelines, get half-time news from Rod Studd.
Well, at half-time, Ian Moore said he was enjoying the arm wrestle, Bill. I don't think he's enjoying it quite as much now after that try they've conceded. But they wanted to sort out one or two things in defence as well. Not happy with the spacing in defence. And whatever he's talked about, maybe the players haven't listened too much, having conceded that try. Some bad news for the Eagles. Missy Talapapa, the update on him, it now looks like a suspected broken fibula. He'll go for an X-ray at the end of this match. So bad news for him. Mark Aston wants his side to hang on in there, and he believes they can still do it. Looks like he could be right, Bill, on the evidence in the first few minutes of this half.
But they're under pressure here, Robbie Paul and Tyrone McCarthy, and again, just not quite clicking there. McCarthy gets it away, it's with Ridyard, and Ridyard trying to worm his way through. Somebody's got a hold of his shorts and just manages to stop him. It was Sostak, I think, who had him round the waist. Duffy, he's collared, that's great defence.
Good spot from Craig Cook.
Joe Hurst, it was, what a tackle that was.
Sorry, Bill. Joe Hurst gets up off the line and catches the Leigh player. As soon as he gets hold of the ball, he's enveloped by that player. They know that goal line defence and urgency on goal line defence is very important.
Like for like, though, from the Leigh Centurions with that last tackle.
I'm sure Mark Aston will have said to his players, you've got to go for the kill, you've got to go for the win. Don't play conservative rugby in this second half. Keep chancing your arm like you did. Keep moving the big forwards around. And I'm sure Ian Millward, they missed 16 tackles in that first half. That is not good enough for Leigh Centurions.
But that's bad news about Missy Talapapa then, with that suspected broken leg. Good sweeping defence from Brown's kick. It was Duffy there to tidy up. He did well there.
Not sure about that kick, Bill. What worked for them in the first half was those deep kicks and those pressurised kicks. I'm not sure they needed to take that risk with 2.5 minutes gone of the first half.
Well, now they've got to be prepared to defend that. If they're not willing to kick it down there and chance their arm, and they're just willing to kick it over and try chance their arm with a little chip over the top on the halfway, they've got to defend this set of 6.
Chips belong with fish, Tez.
Chris Hill scoops that ball up. That's the 5th tackle. What are they going to come up with here? Robbie Paul waiting to scheme. It's with McCarthy. McCarthy stepping through. Gone for the power play. That'll be the turnover.
Well, they're looking for a way. McCarthy in Millward is giving somebody a serve there. One like to be on the earphones, the headset on the sideline.
You'd be turning the volume down, wouldn't you?
Just you'd be taking the earphones off.
Yeah. Absolutely, boss.
Just like being at our house, that.
Just 2 points in it then. Leigh ahead by 18 points to 16. Sheffield with the only try so far in this second half, scored by Menzieri.
Oh, I thought he dropped that ball, Danny Mills.
Well, the Leigh players asking the referee, was that a knock-on?
Certainly lost control of it.
They've got it wide to Danny Mills once more. This time he comes infield. He's found himself in touch twice already tonight. Didn't want to suffer the same fate again. Adam Hickson is back on his feet. He was looking a little bit groggy after a recent tackle. Just gets a visit from the physio on the run, but Hickson says, I'm okay. Does look a little bit wobbly on his feet, though, the winger.
He's took a bit of a bang.
Maiden comes back across the field.
That was a much better kick from Sheffield there. There's Hickson. Just taking some deep breaths. He's had the thumbs up from the physio. Get on with it, lad. These wingers there.
So Leigh, they've got this lead, but it's not a comfortable one. And with play like that from James Taylor, it's not going to be comfortable.
Andrew Henderson, the hooker, who's come on for Sheffield, he gets off the line, he puts his head in the wrong spot, but he is leading the line for this Sheffield side. James Taylor making the mistake.
Is he okay? That's right. Come on then.
Yep, the frustration.
Tight head. Ball in, Brian.
I wonder whether you can feel the hairdryer through earphones.
Here is Tanguy Rapati then. Tyrone McCarthy in there to make the tackle. Down low, as ever, was Robbie Paul. Alex Zostak, and Robbie Paul again in the way to make the tackle. McConnell there to assist. Zostak plays the ball. Here goes Henderson. Lindsay Lindsay for Brown. Brown for Trevor Exton. Exton looking to offload as ever, but they had him all wrapped up that time. Here's Howison. Howison taking him up the middle, and the big guys for Sheffield really getting through the work at the moment. Haley. Here's Brown. Brown, little chip kick through, and Donlan across well and fields it, but he's knocked it on right on his own try line. Just as it looked as though he'd got the ball under control, Donlan seemed to lose it. He is bewildered by that decision.
That was a marvellous kick from Simon Brown. Goalkeeping skills from Donlan there, but he just couldn't control it. Excellent work. Again, the kicking game from Sheffield is vital.
Just 32 years of age now, Stuart Donlan, another one of the really experienced players in this Leigh Centurion side, but it's Sheffield in possession at the moment. Here is Menzieri, and Yeri dumped to the ground by Hickson. That's good work from the young winger, because he was wobbling on his pins just a few moments ago, but can they keep the Eagles out here now as Tangirapati is stopped? They go wide. Lindsay, here's Exton once more. Lindsay, Brown out wide. Hurst, great defence from the Centurions to keep him at bay, but Bergin now. Bergin comes back off his wing.
Move! 2 feet. Go.
Leigh under real pressure. Exton once more. And again the Centurions stand firm, but a great offload from Exton. And again great defence from the Centurions to cut down.
It was dominant on you.
It was Peter Green that time. Cook back inside, and it's Sostak, I think.
Move!
Stringer it is, right underneath the post there. He'll play the ball on the last. Brown out wide for Bergin. Bergin, has he got the footwork to get in field? He's still going, Tim Bergin, and he's held just short of the try line. What great defence from the Centurions there. They had everything coming at them from both sides of the field and up the middle, and they managed to hold out.
Outstanding defence by Leigh. They were tested on both edges, they were tested up the middle. Menzieri had the opportunity, he just had to take him on. He was man on man, and Hickson done a fantastic job bringing the big man to the ground.
Good work from Steve Maiden, making yards on the first tackle for the Centurions then. That was a big set of plays from the Eagles, and Hickson, his tackle was crucial in Leigh surviving it, and now he's taking the side up the other end of the field. Could be penalised there, he is. Tangirapati it was, who just wanted to delay the progress of the 23-year-old Leigh Centurions winger.
Look how urgent Hickson is to get up and play this ball. He come up with a fantastic tackle on Menzieri. He breaks free from Peter Green. He looks to take on the fullback, Tangirapati, just wouldn't let him up. And Leigh now on the front foot, and they look very dominant.
That could be a crucial phase of this game, because Leigh have survived the pressure after Stuart Donlan's knock-on, and now it looks as though they are over the line with Steve Nash. He's held just on it, says the referee. So this is a great opportunity now for the Centurions. They go wide to McCarthy. McCarthy juggles with the ball, comes back in field, and they manage to stop his progress.
Well, he was caught in two minds. He saw Menzieri come up, putting pressure on him, as well as Danny Mills.
McConnell fancied it himself for a moment. Here's Nash once more. Only his sixth appearance of the season, Steve Nash. He's had all sorts of injury problems since coming here, but he's on the field for this crucial game. They've gone out wide, and Nannin juggles with it, manages to hold on, gets it to Donlan. Well, it was Leigh surviving a moment to go down their end of the field. Now then, can the Eagles withstand this pressure? Grubber kick through. They're all going for it, and I think Nash has got there. There's going to be another call for the video ref, but as Steve Nash got on the end of that kick, he's come close on a couple of occasions.
Does he ground this ball, Steve Nash? They were calling in the middle of the park for Duffy to kick this past. They're all onside.
I'm not sure he grounds this ball, Tez.
He definitely gets his hand to it. Does he knock it forward, or does he get downward pressure? That's a try.
Yeah, that's a try. Great work. Nash comes straight onto that.
The try is awarded, and Steve Nash gets his first of the season. It's been a tough season for the former Widnes and Salford forward. Had to contend with injury problems, as I said. But on the field and on the score sheet for Ian Millward's side tonight, in what could be a crucial phase of the game, as I said, because Leigh were really rocking.
Well, they defended the try line, they've come the other end of the park, and that was a good kick by John Duffy under all that pressure. He told Nash, he told McConnell exactly where to aim for. He's aimed it straight between the sticks, and the big prop forward goes in for the try. That is fantastic work by this Leigh side, who've been under pressure in this second half, but the big man goes in for Leigh.
And McNannin, 100% record with the boot this evening, and surely will extend that. So Steve Nash has got his first try in Leigh Centurions colours. Paul Smith has likewise. And Nannin to extend the Centurions lead. Thumps it into those supporters behind the posts, and Leigh are ahead by 24 points to 16 now. Just get the feeling that Sheffield are going to have to dig really, really deep from here on in.
John Duffy does a remarkable job on that kick, and Stevie Nash knows he's got his side back into the game. Look at the reaction from the crowd. This game going from one side to the other.
All right, John.
Well, here is the try scorer, Steve Nash, a spring in his step after that, and there hasn't been much spring in Steve Nash's step this season.
Well, you feel now that Leigh are playing on the front foot, the big forwards taking control in the middle of the park. Sheffield really do need to get their hands on the ball and come up with a try.
Nash once more. Cook down low. Hepworth up top to stop his progress. Here's McConnell. And McConnell, Ridyard, Duffy, Robbie Paul all out there really buzzing around for this Leigh Centurion side.
And it is all around the middle of the park. The speedsters, Duffy taking control, kicking that ball on the last tackle.
Just too strong. Shame for John Duffy. He's in it acting half-back. Tries to just dink it over the top of the line, and it's over the defensive line, and it's off the island.
And that's why Sheffield will think all hope is not lost, because Leigh, if they've been guilty of anything this evening, it's Leigh coming up with errors just at the moment when they are in a position to capitalise on an advantage.
Mark Aston will not allow them to drop their heads. This is the last game of the year for one of these teams tonight. They've got to leave it all here. Menzies is certainly running with a lot of passion.
There is Brendan Lindsay in possession, and he'll be one player especially not wanting the season to end here tonight, because of course his long association with the Eagles ends at the end of this season. He'll be going back to Australia after 5.5 years as a Sheffield Eagles player. He doesn't want it to end here tonight at the Leigh Sports Village.
And he's been an absolute fantastic servant, Brendan Lindsay, to this Sheffield side. I'm sure Mark Aston will miss him next season.
Not just for what he does on the field, but his contribution off it as well, because he does a lot of the work in the office for the Eagles. But that kick Danny Mills couldn't take, and it's come up for Adam Higson.
Well, he's dealt well with the pressure, Higson. They have really targeted him in the kicking game in the second half, trying to get Menzies, Danny Mills on him. Just loses that ball forward.
It's good work from Mitch Stringer there in the tackle. McNannin now, and Nannin has lost that ball.
Nannin comes on a tight line to the ruck, doing the job of a forward, trying to get his team going forward, and just loses his grasp and grip on the ball.
Well, Ian Millwall won't be happy. First, John Duffy kicks the ball out on the full, and then McNannin making the same mistake, bringing it away, drops it.
Get your head in, Stu. Let's get everyone in. You go in there. Just stand there. That's what you
One
have to do.
apiece in games between these two sides this season. Leigh winning 36-20 here against the Eagles, but of course that 29-28 win for the Eagles a couple of weeks ago in the return fixture. Not a lot between them, as there has been inside the top 6 in the championship, really. Okay, Featherstone Rovers really putting the marker down at the top of the table, but below them it's very hard to choose between the sides. And that's a good pass that has got Danny Mills away, and Mills will take on Donlan back inside. Now then, was Sostak taken out without the ball, or had he lost it before the pass came to him?
Well, this is going to be an interesting decision.
I
Was
think you're right,
Sostak
Bill.
taken out?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was tackled before he had chance. to catch that ball. There he is in the middle of your screen. No.
No, does the ball come off a Leigh player, and then does it come off Shostak? Well, Danny Mills passes the ball back inside.
Well, that ball goes backwards.
Yeah, Nash knocks the ball backwards, and then was he tackled there? Could he have regathered that ball to score the try?
I would say yes. Is this a penalty try? The ball comes back from Danny Mills. Leigh do a good job of putting himself in between the support runners. I think that's play on at this point, and Robbie Paul illegally stopped Shostak from getting that ball down.
It's a decision for the video ref, Stuart Cummins. What's he going to give here? Oh, what a decision this is, because it is, by the look of things, where Robert Hicks is heading. It is a penalty try. The Leigh players are absolutely gobsmacked by that. John Duffy just still not retreating to the try line to ask what that's all about. And Alex Shostak was ruled there to have been denied a try-scoring chance by Robbie Paul with that tackle as he was going for the ball, and it would have been a try if Shostak had got there.
Well, a mistake from Nanning, but good play again from Sheffield. Danny Mills passing the ball back inside. Steve Nash knocking it forward, but look at that, the tackle from Robbie Paul on Shostak when he didn't have control. It's the correct decision by the video referee, but Leigh are putting themselves under pressure. John Duffy not finding the sideline. Here we go, the good angle. Shostak would have scored that try.
For the first time tonight, Simon Brown has got one on target, and that'll be a big relief for him. Smile from him. And still the Leigh Centurions aren't home and dry. Still the Sheffield Eagles aren't out of this game. Shostak, the Scottish international, has got the try by virtue of the video ref.
It's a difficult position for Robbie Paul to be in. He knows that the line is there. You just see the reaction on his face. He's got loads of grand final experience. And Robbie Paul, unfortunately for his side, Leigh gives that penalty try away.
Here is Shostak. Oh, the goal kicking. I know there was a smile from Simon Brown there, but he'll be ruining the misses. There is Robbie Paul, whose tackle conceded that penalty try, but Sheffield Eagles have actually outscored Leigh in terms of tries. 5 tries to 4, but they've only converted 1 of those tries. Now then, looking to go wide again. Oh, wonderful ball from Brown. Now then, Exton has got men outside him, and Bergin could be on for another try here. If Hurst can get the pass to him, but he can't. Oh, calamitous. Calamitous from Joe Hurst. And Tim Bergin, well, looks pretty unfazed by that. And in fact, Bergin comes back and consoles Joe Hurst.
What a shame. It was an outstanding pass to Trevor Exton, a drawn pass to Joe Hurst. All he has to do is release his winger. Unfortunately, he's looking at the Leigh defender. And you have to say the skill level of these players tonight has been outstanding. It's a real shame.
Apart from that pass, you mean?
Apart from that pass, the skill level has been outstanding, and there's the disappointment.
Has scored a great try himself this evening, Joe Hurst. But just a warning there for the Leigh Centurions, as it has been virtually from the word go that the Eagles are willing to give this ball some width, and when they do, they've got the capability to turn it into something threatening.
They've got nothing to lose whatsoever. They're behind on the scoreboard, and they need to get the result. They need to score, at least get a penalty.
Into the last quarter of the game, and still just the 2 points in it. On the last tackle, and that's not the greatest of kicks from Ridyard. In fact, it's Ridyard who's underneath it himself, and eventually it's Lindsay who comes up with it for the Eagles.
That is a poor set of 6 as well. In the last 5 minutes, they have not held themselves Leigh. The kicking game's not been that good. Was that forward? Big Menzieri not waiting for the referee, Robert Hicks, to give the decision.
Now they're through. It's Green. Green needs some support. There's nobody there. Does get the ball away. Oh, but it's behind Rapati. Rapati gets it to Exton. Exton swats one away. Still going Trevor Exton. He's up to the 10-metre line. The ball has come up.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one, Billy. Had it in one hand. Whether he lost it.
Well, Robert Hicks saying he's lost that on contact. Said it was a loose carry.
That's 2 line breaks now from Sheffield. Look at Trevor Exton. That ball's stolen. All in Morley. Sheffield have broken the line twice in the last couple of minutes and failed to convert that into points.
Hickson, oh, and Stringer just had a hold of his shirt. That was crucial as well. Well, the two coaches can't take much more of this, down on the sidelines now and tearing their hair out. McConnell is struggling for the Centurions. He's been down once, back on his feet. He's hobbling around. I think it's just cramp. Here is Armitstead. You'd think this was the last 5 minutes. There's still 17 minutes to go. On the last tackle, now then, Ridyard. Cool kick from him, but it sits up nicely from Bergin.
What's Leigh's defence going to be like here? Seems an eternity since they've been down here trying to put Sheffield under pressure. And Sheffield were starting to get a bit loose around the middle of the park, around the big men, falling off tackles from these Leigh players.
24-22, of course, extra time could beckon here. Unless somebody can really lay claim to this game. Zostak. Menzieri now.
And Dave McConnell looks like he's struggling in the middle of the park for Leigh. Mitch Stringer spotted him. Is he going to go straight at him? Nope, it's the last tackle.
Brown. Another good kick from him. Finds good open space down there. Maybe not such a sprightly chase, though, from the Sheffield Eagles.
But just look at the distance that he gets.
And look at the energy on the Leigh players walking back on side. They're very laboured. This game has been played at 110 miles an hour.
Good work from Craig Cook. Sheffield Eagles player named in the Championship All-Stars just recently. Ridyard. A Stringer all over his back and struggling to get to his feet to play that ball. Here is Armitstead now. Wants a Windsor Wolf. Back in Australia, that's the 5th tackle as he plays the ball. Well, Ridyard's pass is to nobody, and eventually it's back with Donlan, and Donlan just has time to pick his spot, which is way over the head of Danny Mills. It's going to bounce up eventually for Mills, but Mills just stood there and watched for an awful long time.
He was very lucky, Danny Mills, there. It was very high, very hanging in that night sky, and he didn't want any piece of it. Lets it bounce. You can't afford to do that.
Of course, the man who would be normally in the fullback role and sweeping up that situation, Missy Talapapa, is sitting on the sidelines and has been virtually since the first minute of the game. It's Tanguy Rapati who's been in that fullback role for most of the night for the Eagles. There is Rapati. That looked a touch forward to Lindsay.
Well, the Sheffield players are starting to look around saying who's going to take that ball forward. They've only made 20 metres, and again, the pressure that Brown's under.
Here's Rapati over the top to Mills. Mills looking to get it back in field to Lindsay. Lindsay has got support from Rapati. Rapati has got support from Softak. Oh. What a crazy pass that was. It's on the last, says the referee.
Rapati's pass. I thought he was playing American football then. Watch this. Touchdown.
Well, he was looking for Shostak to come inside him because Hickson was chasing hard and there was nobody on the wing. That's what Tanguy Rapati was trying to do.
Another line break. That's 3 line breaks, and they've failed to capitalise on that.
It takes you back to that game at Widnes when they had masses of possession in the championship game a few weeks ago, and they lost that night. That was the night that sent Mark Aston crazy because they blew so many chances.
But Sheffield do perform when they do try and take their chances.
Here is Robbie Paul. Can they create a chance now, the Centurions? McCarthy, Lindsay trying to rip the ball from his grasp, makes the tackle in the end. Referee tells McCarthy to get to his feet. Here's Paul Smith. Smith dumped on his back by Menzieri. Sostak was in there to make the tackle. On the last here now, Ridyard thumps the ball high into the sky. Bergin under pressure, and Bergin eventually shepherds that one dead. No, he doesn't. The crowd incensed behind those posts, and referee Robert Hicks says to the video ref Stuart Cummins, will you just have a look at that and see who that came off?
Well, he's just checking what the pressure from Mick Nannin on Tim Bergin. He loses the ball, you can see he goes for it. Oof. Does McNannin touch that and knock it forward, or does it come off Tim Bergin?
I think it's Nannin, isn't it?
I think it could have come off Nannin's right hand.
Yeah.
That's what's knocked the ball forward.
On the line, guys.
good initial decision by the referee, Robert Hicks.
It was indeed, and fair play to then have the humility, if you like, to go to the video ref and say, OK, you check it.
But what have Sheffield got going forward in the last few sets of 6 when they've been asked to bring the ball away? They've had nothing. Is it Exton heading for the sideline? Where's the big men?
The big men are probably gasping for air. They try to go down the short side. Here is Exton. Good defence from Maiden it was that time. Here is Lindsay now. Lindsay finds Tanguy Rapati. Rapati for Menzi Yeri now. Yeri out to Mills. Mills has put it down. Oh! Another opportunity goes begging.
Everything right from Menzi Yeri. The chances that they've blown Sheffield. Look at this. Does everything right. Pulls Hickson and Danny Mills was reading it in the paper tomorrow. They've got 12 minutes to go, and it seems like they've broken them 5 times. They've broken Leigh 5 times in the last 8 minutes.
Calm down, says Mark Aston on the sidelines. Ian Millwood stony-faced, and then Aston issues some instructions via was Savataboa on the sideline. Leigh somehow still ahead here, 24-22. If the Eagles had taken their opportunities, they could be disappearing into the distance.
And kick the conversions.
And yet, Leigh could come up with something here with Armitstead. Just working their way upfield, 4 tackles gone.
Simple plays. Simple plays, knock out the set to 6. Put a kick up, put pressure on this Sheffield side.
Robbie Paul will chip the kick over the top. Tanguy Rapati comes for it and collects that one in the middle of all those bodies.
Good read by Rapati. He knew exactly where that ball was going to go. They were going to try and test Bergen out again.
It's Bergen who plays the ball there. Brown, Lindsay once more, they're going wide. Once more they have got wide, and this time Menzi Yeri hangs on to the pass. Was thinking of trying something audacious there, out of the back of the hand, but decided against it. 4 tackles gone. Coming up to the last 10 minutes then of this game. Brown, was he inside his 40 there? He's put the kick in, and will it find the right touch? It has done.
No, he was outside, Bill.
Well,
he was outside the 40, says the referee.
Robert Hicks called straight away. He's outside the 40. Yep.
His foot was on the line. It's outside.
Foot is on the line.
Tell you what, he's having a blinder, Robert Hicks. He's confident in his calls tonight. And you could see that when Simon Brown got that ball, he tried to pull back and give himself a chance of kicking that 40-20.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Sheffield keep breaking Leigh. Leigh are dropping the winger back in defence, getting nice and tight, but Sheffield, as I say, with a very skillful passing game, are getting on the outside of them.
10 metres.
Into the last 10 minutes now then, and the Eagles need to force an error here. Well, they don't necessarily need to force one. Leigh have been coming up with them out of their own volition here so far, but this time look as though they're going to keep their hands on the ball in this set of 6. Here's Morrison.
3.
As I said, Bill, they don't need to play rugby league. They just need to complete the set to 6 and challenge Sheffield into making a mistake.
He's made a difference since he came on, really mixing it up in the middle.
It's Ridyard who's played the ball, and that's a good pass. And now Paul Smith. Smith is motoring. Good work from Menzi Yeri to stop him. That's the 5th tackle. Now then, Robbie Paul. Ridyard, little chip kick from Ridyard again. It's a good one into space now then. Have they got that ball down? Well, it's another call for the video ref. Donlan claiming it.
The ball goes to the ground in the in-goal area.
Well, did Leigh get this ball, and then was it knocked out of his hand by a Sheffield player? You can see the kick, they're all onside. And again, looking to test Sheffield on the right-hand side. Bergen, the man.
Well, is that play on?
I think that's play on. Bergen doesn't ground that ball.
No,
does anybody?
Neither does a Leigh player.
Nobody does.
Nobody grounds it.
No.
Stuart Donlan reckons he has, but maybe after he'd knocked it on, perhaps.
Well, Taylor goes for this ball. Joe Hurst not taking any chances. He knocks it away.
I don't think there's a knock-on by Taylor there.
This is play on.
That's play on.
This is play on. Bergen's looking for the ball. Joe Hurst trying to regather his feet.
And then there's a knock-on from Donlan, I think. We'll have another look at it at this angle. Joe Hurst does enough so Taylor can't put the ball down.
This is the one. This is the one, Barry, now.
Looking to see whether Bergen has grounded it, I think, as well.
I'm not sure Bergen grounds that. That is play on for me. Joe Hurst has made a play for that ball. Now here it is. Donlan comes into the picture. Does he gather that off the screen with his right arm to ground it? Because he's got control of the ball there. He's very confident. Now it's whether he loses the ball as he's grounding it.
No try is the decision. Knock-on is the call. It has been a busy night for the video ref, Stuart Cummins. Donlan denied there. The Eagles survive.
Well, there's been some very big calls in this game to get Sheffield back into it. And then denying Leigh. Stuart Donlan very confident that he'd scored that try. What's the reaction like from this Leigh side now?
Just 2 points separate these two sides into the last 10 minutes. Have the Eagles got something left in the tank to get up the other end of the field and get themselves back in front again? They started the night in the lead.
Well, they're starting to push the players. Trevor Exton going in, pushing people around. Big Mitch Stringer just takes it forward at the middle of the park.
Here is Lindsay now. Lindsay drills the kick in behind Maiden, looking for a touch. It's even better than that. That is a great kick from Lindsay. That is a fantastic chase from Mills. What a kick. What a time to come up with a kick like that. And Danny Mills, well, he's had one or two moments he'd rather forget, but that was a great chase.
Well, Danny Mills' reaction to Brendan Lindsay's kick, he's running at 100 miles an hour. He knows if this ball stays in play, he needs to keep short footwork and make sure he tackles that Leigh player, forcing the goal line dropout. Steve Maiden had virtually no chance once he caught that ball.
So goal line dropout. Nannin with the boot. And it's Rapati who feeds it on to Haley now, and Haley charges in, but it's Taylor who makes the tackle.
That's how you return the ball. Give yourself a chance of breaking that tackle.
Exton gets the pass away. Dispute there over ownership of it for a moment, I think. Henderson, here is Peter Green, but stuttering run from Green, still looking to offload that ball.
Well, they're setting up on the left-hand side here.
Exton gets the pass away quickly to Hurst. Hurst still going. He's tackled, and they're inside the 10 metres of the Leigh half now. Really threatening. They're coming from deep with Rapati. Finds Yeri. Yeri the handoff, and Yeri for the hat-trick. Surely it is for Menzi Yeri. Or surely it's another video ref call. Have they managed to deny the PNG Sportsman of the Year last year, Menzi Yeri? Or has he got his name in the Eagles history books here?
Well, they want to see if the big man goes over the line.
I think he's dropped this ball, you know.
No, that's a try. He's got his hand on the ball.
You're right.
He's got his left hand on the ball. It goes there. It looks like it's short. His body rolls over that ball. He's still got control with his left hand.
That is a... You're saying he's still got control of that?
I think so, Bill. I'm going to have another look at it now before I make my decision.
Steve Maiden does an excellent job of making it difficult. I did on the first time I watched it, I thought he may have done enough to deny him. And then you convinced me, O'Connor.
I know, but now Bill's convinced me.
Well, we don't matter. It's Robert Hicks waiting for the video ref's decision. No try is the ruling. The Eagles players on the halfway line waiting for Brown to take that conversion. Couldn't believe that. Only now gathering to form the scrum.
Well, you talk about the grip on the ball, but what about the effort from Maiden there? He's got his left arm over the big man's shoulder to deny him this try, and that is just the second effort. And Leigh's defence in the second half has been outstanding on the try line. How many times have Sheffield brought them?
It's been a no-try bonanza this second half.
Well, Leigh... Oh, and Leigh... Well, that looked like a fumble from Ridyard, and Ridyard stopped and waited for the whistle.
Well, you're right. He did give himself up. Robert Hicks, sorry, saying that no, it's play on. Does he knock this ball on?
Yes.
How has he missed that?
That's why he gave himself up.
Well,
I said the refs had a blinder 10 minutes ago.
that, well, to be fair, Ridyard was at the base of the scrum. Bodies obscuring him, but...
It's Robbie Paul.
Well, that is a let-off for the Centurions, who've managed to hoof the ball downfield. And Sheffield really are looking weary now. Massive effort from them in this second half. They have come so close on so many occasions.
This is it, Bill. This is the last 5 and a bit minutes of your season. If you can push on a player that's got the ball, if you can get back that little bit quicker, the messages will be coming on from Mark Aston. It's all pure encouragement now from your coach and your players around you.
Sostak, not tackled, makes another couple of metres for the Eagles.
Well, Robbie was directing his troops out here. They're targeting him again.
Menzieri, just swats aside Armistead. Get out of my way.
The old PNG sidestep.
He does not try to use these feet, does he?
Lindsay, little chip kick over the top. Donlan comes for it. Donlan's lost it. Lindsay, surely now. Hepworth for Bergin, and Bergin maybe to win it. Denied a moment ago. But while Stuart Donlan is treated on the field, it's the Eagles who celebrate. And it was Brendan Lindsay's kick that might have set up the winning try for this Sheffield Eagles side. I say might have because this game has gone backwards and forwards, and you still would not count against another twist in the tail.
Absolutely unbelievable. The pressure that they have put on Leigh in this second half, they've made break after break after break and not converted them into tries. But look at the kick from Lindsay. Taylor goes for it, Donlan misses it, and just the width that they get. Again, Peter Green is setting that man Bergen away to score the try in the corner. Both teams must be absolutely out on the feet. Stuart Donlan going down injured, but this is just good play. Again, they are hurting Leigh on the edges. There he is, the man. It's not over yet.
That might be the warning from Tim Bergin. Mark Aston, Mick Cook alongside him. The pair of them have seen plenty in this game, been involved in some hair-raising experiences in the history of the Sheffield Eagles, but this will go down as one of the another one of them.
Can we not just go down now and put a heart monitor on Mark Aston and see how he is? He's telling his players to calm down.
He looked pretty cool there.
It's a lovely little pink number he's got on anyway.
Brown, another difficult conversion for him. We talk about the ones he's missed, but he hasn't had easy ones. He's missed with that one, but Sheffield Eagles ahead by 26 points to 24. 2 weeks ago, it was 29-28. 10 years ago, they won here, 26-24. The last time, in fact, they won in Leigh, back at the old Hilton Park. They have 3 minutes to survive here, and you wouldn't put your hat on that happening.
Well,
but Leigh have come up with the error.
Was that knocked forward?
Yeah, that was a Leigh knock-on. I wouldn't put my hat or my house on either side at the minute, Bill. Short kick-off, everybody goes up for it, and Higson knocks this ball on. I'm not prepared to back either side. It's been such an exciting game. A game of missed opportunities, missed tries, missed goals, but 100% commitment.
So the Eagles in possession, taking their time. There is Lindsay, architect of what could be the decisive try that keeps the Eagles alive in the playoffs and sends Leigh out at this first hurdle. And what a blow that will be for the highly ambitious Centurions club. But as we said before the game, it's been that sort of season for them. They have been so erratic. They won their opening 9 games of the season, really did look like one of the form sides of the competition. Then Featherstone Rovers beat them, and since then they haven't really managed to put any sort of form together, and we're seeing it again this evening. Brown drills the kick up the line. Hickson leaves it alone.
We've got to credit Sheffield as well, though. They have took the chances. They've turned up today at Leigh Sports Village, prepared to play rugby. Leigh forming this scrum quickly. They want to give themselves a chance. It's probably going to be the last set of 6 now that they will have in this game, Leigh.
I think the difference between the two teams has been the kicking game. Simon Brown and Brendan Lindsay, they've kicked Leigh Centurions to death.
There's Ridyard, Robbie Paul now. Robbie Paul gets away from Menzieri, did well there, and Yeri then gets a hold of McCarthy, Tyrone McCarthy, who loses the ball, and the Eagles have it back, and that could be curtains for the Centurions. Here comes Trevor Exton, has performed well for the Eagles since coming on early on following Missy Talapapa's injury. Exton isn't going to get to his feet in a hurry. It's with Lindsay now. Lindsay fancies one himself. Very nearly got one. Robbie Paul, another old stager, makes the tackle. Henderson, will he go over? I think he is just short, says the referee. Yes, he is. It's back with Haley now. And this will do for the Eagles, just driving the ball in. And then force another set of 6. And there are the two coaches, Ian Millwood and Mark Aston, contrasting fortunes for them. And Nanning has picked the ball up, and Hickson is brought down.
What an end to this game. Where's the speedsters from Leigh? They look to move it.
They've got to get it wide. The Sheffield defence is a bit of a dog's hind leg at the moment, but Yeri makes an important tackle on Robbie Paul. Into the last 30 seconds here. Armitstead. Mark Aston trying to remain calm. Robbie Paul floats the ball over the top to Nanning. Nanning takes on Hurst, still going. Nanning gets the ball back in field. Offload to Bybee. Bybee, it's with Hill, and Hill motoring for the line. He's lost the ball as the hooter sounds, and Sheffield Eagles will emerge victorious, but only after a nail-biting finish. And Missy Talapapa on crutches hobbles onto the field to celebrate with his teammates. The Centurions players flat on their backs, but even at the last they were trying for victory, and they almost got it. And some dejected players out there, Donlan among them. It's hard here tonight.
They are absolutely devastated, but look at Sheffield. Sheffield, they've turned up here, they wanted to play. Missy Talapapa joining in the celebration on his crutches. Tyrone McCarthy, they are absolutely gutted.
Well, it's very hard to pick a man of the match from that game. And all sorts of heroes out there for all sorts of reasons. But Brendan Lindsay, it could have been his final game for the Eagles tonight. It's not. He is man of the match, and he's with Rod.
Brendan, take these from me, will you? Commemorative memento there and a bottle of champagne, man of the match. Now listen, there was a lot of adversity there for Sheffield Eagles. You lost one of your best players after 60 seconds in Missy Talapapa, and then you went 8 behind with an hour gone. Just where did you summon the strength from as a bunch of players?
Missy who? Nah, I'm kidding, no. The boys dug deep. We didn't do the right things in the first half, and I think in the second half we probably bombed 3 or 4 tries, you know, from a long way out. So we made it tough for ourselves, but I mean, credit to the guys, because that's what we've got in the squad. We didn't have it at the start of the year, but it's coming back. It's just a good feeling, and we work hard for each other.
This could have been your last game, couldn't it? Because you're leaving, so you prolonged your stay at Sheffield.
I know, I'm trying to get away from Mark, so it's doing my head in. No, it's great. I just want to play out. Obviously, I want to finish in the last weekend in September, and you know, hopefully we can get away with a win.
Charity money, £100 to go with that. Brendan, where will it be going for us?
I'm going to give it to Liam Brentley, an ex-player of ours. We had a big day for him last week, and you know, that's 100's going to go to him again.
Well done, Brendan. Good on you. Now look, Mark Aston's here, and he looks pretty calm now. But I tell you, did you think you'd blown that, because you got back within a couple and you bombed try after try after try after try?
Yeah, I was pacing up and down the steps a few times there, because, you know, we wasn't clinical, and we spoke at half-time about we'll get the opportunity as long as we stay in the arm wrestle and play for the full 80 minutes. We did that. We blew a few chances, but credit to the guys, you know. And the call was all about Brendan Lindsay, because we want to carry on playing as long as we can with him, you know.
You've got to keep going away, though, haven't you? But you've got to be in it to win it, and you're still in it.
We had it happened to us last year at home. Featherstone came there and then carried on, and we want to do exactly the same. We had a bit of adversity early on, as you say, we missed going off in the first tackle of the game. So, you know, I was delighted for the guys, and we just want to keep playing, and, you know, we're enjoying ourselves at the moment.
Good on you, Mark. Keep on going.
Say one thing, Mum, I love you. Dad, I love you. They're in Turkey. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Ian, thanks for coming in. I know it's not the easiest time to answer questions, so thanks for doing that. This is a tough night for Leigh, obviously, because you look like you had the game won, and also it means that you can't make a Super League application because you've not made the grand final. So just sum up on behalf of the club how tough a night it's been.
Oh, look, I thought Sheffield were a better team, you know. I mean, if you look at our right-hand side defence, they made numerous breaks, especially coming out of yardage. So, obviously, you know, we had some issues there. And every time we got in the lead, some of our, you know, whether it was spacing or defence decisions weren't great. So that opened the door for them continually. But we looked a little bit like a team actually today that, you know, we've done really well. We've come off the bottom of the league up the top, but we just lack a little bit of a cutting edge and a mental toughness there to win a game like that today. And we had plenty of opportunities to win it, but we weren't consistent enough. And I'm sure when you look at the video, there's a lot of areas we can get better in. But it was great to get a playoff game from where the club were. But, you know, I think anything in rugby league is a long-term strategy, and the club will keep pushing forward.
Thanks for talking to us, Ian.
All the best.
Well done to the Leigh coach for talking like that. Well done to the Sheffield Eagles for their victory. What a night. The first of the Championship playoff games. What drama here, and what interest next. Super League